Toys are supposed to be cute, fun, harmless, right?
Wrong. Some toys are basically straight up nightmare fuel.
Dolls that whisper at night, toys that refuse to die even without batteries, and ones that literally crawl their way back into your home after you throw them out. And today, I'm showing you the most horrifying toys you should never own. Quick warning, don't watch this alone at night. And if you make it through, subscribe to be saved. Because trust me, after this list, you're not gonna look at toys the same way again. First up, the most cursed toy in history. Robert the doll. This thing is over 100 years old and it ruined lives. A little boy named Eugene got him in the early 1900s, and instantly creepy stuff started happening. Neighbors swore they saw Robert moving from window to window. Guests said his expression would change if they made fun of him. And at night, Eugene's parents heard footsteps and whispers, even when no one else was home. Like, imagine insulting a doll and he just stares back at you with a different face. I'd be out of that house. Watch this video of people explaining Robert's curse.
This is supposedly the world's most haunted doll. And listen, don't make fun of him because you might find yourself needing to write him an apology letter like a lot of other people. Allow me to introduce you to Robert. He was gifted to Robert Eugene Otto, who lived in Key West, Florida in 1905. The doll was made in Germany in 1904. When he received the doll, they were instantly inseparable. Yes, Robert and his doll have the same name. For the sake of the story, I'm gonna call young Robert by his middle name, Eugene. So they're inseparable, right? Okay, now every time something odd happens, Eugene blames it on Robert. Normal childhood behavior, I would say. Parents are also not believing him. Till one night, his parents hear furniture literally being thrown around, and so they think somebody's breaking in. Obviously, they run to their child's room, and they find Eugene hiding in a corner, and Robert propped up on the foot of his bed, staring. The room, a disaster. Eugene looks really scared, and again blames it on Robert. Eugene treats Robert like a human. It's his best friend. He talks to him, he dresses him. That's where he gets this outfit from. But occasionally, his parents hear an answer. They hear like the occasional voice. And when they ask Eugene, who are you talking to? Robert. There's also other weird paranormal activity happening in this home, and they find dolls missing limbs and eyeballs. One day, a plumber was working at the home and he heard children laughing and running around and things being thrown around. Meanwhile, he was there alone. And when he went to check what it was, he opens the door and finds dolls thrown everywhere, but nobody's there. He used to leave Robert on a windowsill at the front of the home, and plenty of people would say that his head would follow them. He would move, he would disappear, he would be there 1 second and then like they would turn around and he would be gone. Eugene gets older, leaves for art school, meets his wife in Paris, and gets married. Now they're living together, and he cracks out old Robert. Again, it's like they're best friends. His wife doesn't like his unhealthy relationship that he has with this doll. Again, he's treating him like he did when he was younger, like he's a human, like one of his best friends. Understandably, his wife doesn't like this. She asks him to lock him up in the attic, and so that's what he would do. He would go up, have his alone time with Robert, talk with him, and then always make sure to lock him when he left the attic. I should also mention that he locked him in a trunk in the attic, not just locking him in the attic. But occasionally, they would still find Robert around the house, and people would say they would find him on the windowsill watching them from outside. He would somehow get out of that box, the locked box.
Here's the scary part. Robert is still on display in a Florida museum. And if you take his picture without asking, people claim he curses you. They write apology letters to him, begging for forgiveness after their lives fall apart, car crashes, lost jobs, sickness, you name it. If you're still watching this part, comment stay safe right now. I don't want to risk Robert following anyone through the screen. Next up, Peggy the doll. Paranormal investigators call her one of the most dangerous toys ever. Just looking at her makes people sick. Viewers online claim they've gotten migraines, nausea, even chest pain after seeing her. Watch this video where investigators explain Peggy's effects.
Did you know there's a doll so cursed, people get sick just by looking at her? Her name is Peggy. She doesn't walk, she doesn't talk, but she knows you're watching. Peggy first appeared in a British woman's home in 2015. Within days, she was plagued by nightmares, hallucinations, and sudden chest pains. Doctors found nothing, but when the doll was removed, everything stopped. Peggy was handed over to a paranormal investigator. They recorded her on camera. No one touched her. Yet objects moved, batteries drained, and viewers across the world began reporting headaches, nausea, and visits from a woman in their dreams. Some claim Peggy's spirit is that of a Holocaust victim. Others say something darker latched onto the doll. Either way, she now sits behind glass, watched 24/7. But the strangest part, over 80 people said they saw her blink on video. So if you feel uneasy right now, a sudden chill, a presence behind you, don't look over your shoulder. Peggy doesn't like being watched without watching back.
Some even reported shadow figures in their houses after encountering her. She's locked in a paranormal museum now, but people still say she causes nightmares. Imagine being so cursed you can make people sick just by existing on camera. Peggy is basically the influencer version of a demon. This one makes me furious, the Elsa doll. At first, she sang Let It Go like normal. But then, she started switching languages, randomly. English 1 minute, Spanish the next. Then it got worse. The family tried throwing her away, and she came back. Not once, not twice. Multiple times. Watch this video explaining the Elsa doll mystery.
This family in Texas was living with a haunted Elsa doll for years. That's what happened to Emily's daughter, who received an Elsa doll from her grandmother when she turned 1. The family kept the doll for a few years until it started speaking on its own, even when the switch was turned off. Emily also said that after 2 years, the doll suddenly began speaking Spanish, which is weird because it only spoke English the entire time they had it. In 2019, Emily decided to throw Elsa in the trash because at this point, her daughter had this doll for a very long time. But 2 weeks later, Matt opened a wooden bench in their living room and Elsa was in there. Obviously, he was confused, so he asked his kids if they had brought Elsa back into the house, and they said no. So this time, Matt and Emily put Elsa into 2 garbage bags and watched as the garbage truck picked up their garbage and took it away. But it doesn't end there. 2 weeks later, their daughter casually told them that she saw Elsa in their backyard. So when she went outside, she saw Elsa there. And at this point, Emily was freaked out and she decided to send Elsa to a friend 2,400 kilometers away with no return label. Emily said that since the doll's been gone, there has been weird things happening in their home, such as lights turning on and off and doors opening and closing.
Like, I'm sorry, but if I dump you in the trash, you stay there. Don't spawn back in my living room like some Roblox character. The scariest part? They tied her up in a garbage bag and tossed her outside. Weeks later, she was back in their house. Eventually, they shipped her off to another city. And she still sings. To this day. If that Elsa doll ever decides to walk across the world on her own, we're all doomed. This one, nope. The Giggles doll. Cute idea, it laughs when you press its chest. A family started noticing it would laugh by itself in the middle of the night with no one around. And when they opened it up, no batteries, nothing. Watch this video where people talk about dolls laughing without power.
Story of
Baby laugh a lot.
So this doll came out in 1970. She was well known for laughing, and the mouth of the doll is open and showing her teeth. When the first commercial came out of the doll, it scared a lot of people. The commercial shows these 2 girls laughing at the doll. Well, this doll doesn't actually have a cute laugh, but she sounds like Chucky. You have to hear when her batteries are running down.
Oh my god.
She also turned on when everybody was asleep. So that's what I got today. Bye.
Imagine hearing a tiny giggle at 3 a.m., walking into the room, and that doll is just staring at you. I'm not moving houses, I'm moving countries. Some people locked it in boxes, closets, even threw it away, but it always found its way back, and then one day, it vanished. But the family swears they still hear giggling echoing through the house. Finally, Teletubby dolls. You know, The bright colorful ones kids loved. Yeah, not so harmless. Parents expected them to say cute catchphrases like "Ayo" or "Big hug." Instead, some of them started whispering, growling, or even saying weird phrases at night. Imagine you're a kid, half asleep, and your doll leans over and whispers in your ear. That's therapy for life. Watch this video about the Teletubby doll controversy.
This is the terrifying truth behind the Teletubbies. The real story of the Teletubbies comes from an old mental hospital in Sofia, Bulgaria, in the year 1960. In this hospital, there was a group of 4 children with quite strange conditions. Lala had a disorder that made her smile all the time. She always stayed alone in her room in the hospital, so her skin turned yellow because she was not exposed to the sun. Tinky Winky was 7 years old. He suffered from depression and did not eat his food. And for a strange reason, he hit his head against the wall until he broke it. So they tied him with ropes by his limbs so he would not hurt himself. This caused his limbs to turn a blue color. In the hospital, there was a fire. Everyone evacuated, but they forgot to get Boo out of there. I imagine you understand why she is red. And Nipsey represented another deaf member of the hospital who was tied to a fence outside the hospital and suffered frostbite. All the Teletubbies characters are based on children who had terrible experiences in this mental hospital.
Some parents returned them, but others swore the dolls kept whispering long after. Like, how do you explain that to your kid? Oh, don't worry honey, your bedtime toy just has demons in it. No thanks. Trash, immediately. If that ever happened to me as a kid, I'd be in therapy forever. Imagine your bedtime toy leaning over and whispering in your ear. Nope, straight out the window. These are the toys you never want in your house. And honestly, there are way more cursed toys out there hiding in thrift shops and attics right now. If you made it this far, subscribe to be saved. And comment, stay safe, if you actually survived this video without side-eyeing your childhood toys. Because me? I'm locking my closet tonight. That's all for today, bye for now. And I'll see you in the next video.